Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Socially Awkward, where the longer you stick around, the more you will see why I named it that. So today I am taking you guys on a quick little, well, at least I'm hoping that is quick, a sewing marathon of making some Christmas pajamas for my son. This week is his holiday spirit week at school, and this coming Thursday is pajama day. And he doesn't have any pajamas that he can like wear outside the house. He grows so fast, and we just can't keep up. So he kind of just like sleeps in whatever he sleeps in. Um, so I wanted to make him some pajamas that, just look cute and he can wear out of the house and we can say that I made them and, just kind of experience that. So I have this pattern, C and Sew B4322. This pattern was gifted to me by a friend maybe like a year ago, and I'm pretty sure she thrifted it. This pattern is not in print anymore. I don't even know if C and Sew is still a brand. I Googled it and I guess it was a part of like Butterick patterns because, starts with B and 4322. So not sure if this pattern is still available. But I have it in my stash. Although the description is, it says it's for girls. I mean, just looking at it, I think it just depends on your fabric and the size that you cut out. So I think a boy can definitely fit this pattern. I don't see what would make it specifically for girls. So this is what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing the top and the pants. For sure the pants, I'm going to be making them, the top I'm a little about. I don't really have a fabric. And actually, let me show you guys the fabric really quick before we move forward so you can kind of see the vision. All right, so I have this Minky Fleece Golden State Warriors Christmas fabric. I've had this in my stash, oh my gosh, for like 3 years now. I originally I think I got this from Fabric Mart, I think, but I have seen it here locally at SAS or SAS Fabrics in Phoenix. So I think if you're looking for this fabric, is definitely available just like online and probably at your local stores. But I've had it for a while. I used it to make my son a bomber jacket when he was like 5, I think, or 6 or 7, not sure. Um, so when I originally bought it, I think I bought the entire bolt because it was like $2 a yard. Like it was crazy cheap. And I'm like, he loves the Warriors. This is perfect. So I have a lot of this fabric and I need to use it up. I honestly might make myself some pajamas as well. So just to kind of use it up. But again, it is this minky fleece and it just repeats this panel or these panels over and over. It's kind of got that ugly Christmas sweater feel. And it, again, minky, so it's soft. It does have a nap, so I have to pay attention to that as well. So that is what we're going to be doing for the bottoms. And for the top, I'm hoping that I can make this rib knit work because I don't really have it in me to make like a matching top with the pants. I think that that of course would be very cute, but it's very time consuming. I mean, like a button down top, like Christmas pajama vibe. I don't really feel like doing that. I kind of just want to make something quick and easy. And so this pattern is really easy, or at least it looks very easy. It's just a raglan top. Um, and it calls for knit. So I can't use the minky fleece for that. And not that I would use that anyway. I don't think it would feel really good on his skin. And so I have this white rib knit that I got from Hobby Lobby a while back. I was originally going to use it to as like the cuffs and the neckline for a hoodie, but I decided to go with a different fabric for that. And so I still have this fabric and I think it goes with the fleece because it has white in it. I just would prefer if I just had black, like black would hit so much better, but white is fine. And I think, or at least I'm hoping that I have enough to double line the bodice so that it's not super see-through because this fabric is very see-through. And I want him to be comfortable. So I'm hoping that I have enough to go ahead and line the bodice or double layer the bodice. So I would just cut the bodice out twice and then sew those together and then proceed as normal with the steps. But yeah, that is what we are going to be doing. Hopefully, I can get everything done in one day. But you guys know that I am a slow sewer. However, I went ahead and because this pattern was thrifted, I wanted to make sure that all the pieces were still in here. And so I went ahead and pulled this out and I noticed that the pants is only two pattern pieces. So it's kind of giving you sew the legs together and you fold it down and put elastic in it. So how long could that take? These pants don't have pockets either. So this shouldn't take very long. And I'm not going to add any pockets to these because lazy and I kind of just want to get through it and he doesn't care. And so I'm thinking I cut out and sew the pants. That should take maybe an hour, not counting the cutting time, but I should be able to get the pants done. And then the shirt, I've made raglan style tops before. You guys have seen me make that hoodie twice, that simplicity hoodie. So I'm thinking it's the same steps for this as well. And then I also pulled out the instructions just to kind of see like what we were working with because I've never done a see and sew and I wanted to see if they do a good job with like their instructions. And it's literally one page of instructions for every view. So like the pants, there's 5 steps. And then for the top, there's 7 steps. And it's all literally even the robe that's on the cover is all on this page. So this feels like a low stakes project and I think I can knock this out in one day. Although I really don't need to have them done until Wednesday night. So I think we're gonna be good. So let's go ahead and cut out our pattern pieces. All right, you guys. So I'm sitting on my floor and I'm getting ready to cut out the pants legs. Um, I'm cutting out a size 12. I measured my son and his measurements. Well, let's backtrack. This pattern does not have finished garment measurements. So I measured my son, and his measurements don't really coincide with the measurements that they provided, which I'm assuming is just like basic measurements because they don't say finished garment measurements on them. But I'm making the size 12. I held the pattern pieces up to his body, and I think we're going to be running a little big. So I'm preparing to maybe have to take in, but he grows so fast that if they're bagging on him now, he'll be able to fit them next year or within a couple months or so. Um, but I wanted to show you guys because this pattern does have like a, um, what is it called? Like a, I don't know, like a pattern that I need to pay attention to because it has like the continuous different patterns in it. And so I'm kind of paying attention to that, but not really because I don't want to waste too much time on lining everything up. What I've been doing is kind of trying to pay attention to how I folded the fabric because originally I was like just gonna cut out each piece one by one so that I could make sure that the side seams aligned perfectly, but I don't think I care about doing that. So the front pieces should be aligned for the most part. I ended up folding my fabric in half so that I could cut 2 pieces at one time because I kind of just want to not be doing this all day. Um, and so just gonna show you guys what that looks like. So here is how I have them laid out. Again, just have it folded in half. I did pay attention to like where the half meets, so I kind of have an idea of like where the logos are and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I want this to be a low stakes project. Also, like I said, I'm cutting out the size 12, so I just have the larger sizes folded back for now. And then depending on how this pattern goes, I'll just keep it for future use. But yeah, just looking at the pattern pieces, these may be a little baggy on him, but we'll see. Just, we're winging it. We're marathon sewing. We're chaotic chaos sewing. So getting ready to cut these pieces out, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the top as well. I'm laying out the pieces for the top, and both of the front and back pieces are supposed to be cut out on the fold. For the front, I am cutting that one out on the fold. For the back, I'm going to cut one out on the fold, and then one I'm going to have a seam going down the center. Remember I said that this fabric was pretty see-through and I wanted to double line the bodice. So although this pattern piece number 8, which is the front, says cut one on the fold, I'm going to cut two on the fold. And then for the back piece, I'm going to cut one on the fold and then one in two pieces. And I'm just going to add some seam allowance and then cut everything else out as normal. So the sleeve and the neckband. I'm also thinking about adding some length to each bodice. It looks really short to me, but I'm so used to sewing for myself only that maybe it's just my eyes. So I think I'm gonna go grab one of my son's shirts and see how they line up with the pieces. Oh yeah, I also want to mention the size that I'm cutting out. In the pants, I cut out the 12. In the top, I'm gonna cut out the size 14. I'm gonna end up sizing up just because this is a stretchy knit. And although it's gonna be comfortable, I don't want it to cling to his body too much and that ends up making him uncomfortable. So I have rethreaded my serger. I'm gonna try and use my serger for majority of the steps, and then hopefully all I have to do is use my sewing machine for the hems. But went ahead and rethreaded my serger with white thread. I feel like that matches both fabrics pretty nicely. I have pinned both of my or clipped both of my bodice pieces because remember I'm double lining my bodice, and so I just clipped all the way around the perimeters of both. And yeah, this one is the back. So remember for the back, I had to have a seam going down the back. So I've already serged that down the middle. And then I'm just getting ready to serge all around both bodice pieces. This is the back. And then this is the front. And I have a little clip here so that I can remember that this is the front piece or this is the front of the pattern. And then this is the back. For the back piece, I have clipped it together to where the serger stitch is showing, so I'll know that this is the back of the pattern piece. But getting ready to serge those, and then we will follow the instructions as normal. I have my sleeves pinned to both fronts and backs. Remember, this is a raglan top, so that's why it looks like this. But I'm getting ready to serge these pieces together. So this is the sleeve attached to both front and back pieces. And then I'm probably going to take a break because as you can see, it's dark outside now and I don't want to overextend myself since I have until Wednesday night to finish this. But I'm going to go ahead and sew these pieces or serge these pieces together and then we'll see how I feel after that. But I might end up just calling it a night. Okay, maybe I lied because I definitely didn't take a break. I continued sewing and I'm at the point now where I'm about to attach the neckband to the bodice, and then all I'll have left to do is hem the sleeves and then hem the bottom. Um, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I didn't stay stitch the neck line. I'm hoping that that doesn't make my neckband look super wonky, but if it does, it's okay. Um, I also had my son try this on and it fits him very nice. I'm so glad that I added the 4 extra inches to the bodice because yeah, what I ended up doing, because I don't think I showed you guys, I ended up going to get another one of his like t-shirts and I laid it next to the pattern piece and that pattern piece was very short. And maybe that's why it's classified as a girl's pattern, even though girls can be tall too. But I ended up adding 4 inches to the bodice. The pattern calls for a 5/8 inch hem, so it's going to fit him perfect. Same with the arms or the sleeves. I didn't add any length to the sleeves, so this is as is, and those sleeves are perfect on him as well. I'm going to do a 5/8 inch hem on those as well. I don't think I'm going to do any hemming tonight. I'm just trying to get as far as possible because I know tomorrow, whenever I get off work, I'm not gonna feel like being in here for a long time. I'm gonna be tired. So I wanted to get as far as I can. So getting ready to serge the neckband on, and then I'll show you guys what that looks like, and then we'll call it a night. All right, guys, I have serged my neckline or my neckband on to the bodice. This is how it turned out. I still need to press it. I haven't been pressing my seams this entire time. I'm waiting until the end to give everything a final press. Although I think I'm gonna go ahead and press this neckband just to kind of have it marinate overnight, if you will. But so far, this is how we are looking. Just gonna give it a press, and then I might have my son come and try it on again now that the neckband is on. But for now, I am loving how this is looking. This is the back, and this is the front. So tomorrow, all I will have to do to finish this is do the hemming, and then we move on to the pants. I saved the pants for last because since it's just only two pattern pieces, this shouldn't take super long. So I wanted to get the more tedious um, pattern out of the way. So this is how we are looking. It's very soft. I think I'm gonna maybe make something for myself out of this fabric because originally I was gonna use it as like a ribbing, like a rib trim. But now that I've doubled it, it feels a lot better. So with this fabric being inexpensive from Hobby Lobby, I think that it's a pretty good fabric to use to just make myself a bunch of these like t-shirts. So yeah, but gonna go ahead and press this and then I'm gonna call it a night. So here it is with him trying it on. This is after I press the neckline. What do you think? How's it feel on your body?
Good.
You like the fabric?
Yeah.
You gonna keep it clean and white? Um, we'll see.
I am.
Okay, what about the sleeves?
It feels good. It's perfect length.
I'm
It's
still gonna hem them,
too long.
but they're at a pretty good length. Remember, you guys, I didn't extend them. I only extended the bodice 4 inches, which good thing I did. Um, they call for a 5/8 inch hem on the sleeves and on the bodice, so that is what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna call it a night and get ready, get ready for bed. Say good night.
Good night.
Hey guys, it is the next day. So I'm getting ready to start on the pants. Last night I left off with just the hems remaining on the top. So I am going to move on to the pants. I have pieces 12 and 13. Here it's only two pattern pieces for the pants. So most likely looking at the instructions, but I'm pretty sure we're just going to stitch the inner leg seams together, the crotch seam, yep. Inner leg seams together, crotch seam together, and then side seams together. So getting ready to do that, I'm gonna use my serger just like I did with the top, and then all of my hems. And to close out the casing for the waistband, I'm gonna use my sewing machine. So gonna go ahead and pin right sides together the inner leg seams of the front and the back. I have the inner leg seams serged together, and now I have my crotch seam clipped together, and now I'm about to do a serger stitch around the crotch. And then normally if I were using a sewing machine, I would do like a double stitch um, around this area just because it's going to have like a lot of tension there. But I think since I'm using my serger, I might either go over that stitch again for a second time, or I might just do another stitch using my sewing machine. But anyway, getting ready to serge the crotch seam together. my side seams clipped together, and I took a little sneak peek at how the pattern is lining up on the inside. It is a little bit off center, but we knew that. We knew that was going to happen. I mean, yesterday I barely paid attention to how the pattern laid, but it's no big deal. It's just like slightly off center, but I don't mind, and I don't think he'll mind either. From holding them up, and of course, I'm going to take seam allowance off the side, but from holding them up, I do think that they're going to be a little baggy on him, which is what I expected. So after I serge the sides, I'm going to have him come in here and try them on so I can see just like roughly how the fit is and then make any adjustments from there. I just finished finishing off each of the raw edges, so the waist and the hem as well. I had him come in here and try them on because, like I said, as I was holding them up, I'm like, these are really big. You guys, they fit him perfect. He's bigger than I thought. Like, he's growing and he's almost 10. He'll be 10 next week, but he's just he's just growing too fast and I can't keep up. But this is how they look so far. Up next is to make a casing for the waistband. I'm going to call him back in here in a little bit and measure his waist with some elastic. The pattern calls for 3/4 inch elastic. I don't know if I have that. We're going to see what I have. But that would be the next step. But I'm going to take a break really quick and eat some dinner. And then once I'm done eating, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my hems on both of the garments, the top and the pants, and then we'll be done. So I had him try them on because I realized that I only have an inch and a half elastic, like that size. And so I had him try them on to see like if it affected the crotch at all. And of course it did. So I cut out my own little waistband pattern piece. I have the elastic sandwiched on the inside, and I'm about to see if I am skilled enough to attach the waistband to the pants while the elastic is already in here. I've never done this before, so we're just gonna see what happens. I am going to use my serger for this, so hopefully that doesn't mess up my machine or anything. I am no Well, it worked. Was it stressful? Yes. What I ended up doing is disengaging my knife and I just went very slow. So I had it to where the waistband was facing me and then I had the pants underneath. And I just took my time going around and then checking to make sure everything was sandwiched in as well. And this is how they are looking at this point. So this is the back. And then this is the front. So again, I mean, it's kind of lined up, not really. I mean, certain parts. It's a very busy print, so it doesn't matter anyway. But now I'm getting ready to do the hem of the pants and then the hem of the shirts. All right, so here is the top. And I do need to lint roll it. The white is picking up the fleece that's flying off of the pants. But here's the top. It is hemmed. I gave it like a light little press. I'll probably press it again before bed. Sleeves are hemmed as well. I did give these a light press as well. And then the pants, which of course, what's supposed to be the easiest pattern gave me the hardest time. So I had to attach my own or create my own waistband and then attach it. So here is how that is looking with the waistband. I ended up going in and so originally I serged it. I attached the waistband to the pants by using my serger. And then afterwards, I decided to go ahead and do a straight stitch with my actual sewing machine just to kind of lock it in, just in case. And so that is what I did so that my son doesn't get confused. I did put one of my labels in there, just says Ebony made this. I haven't put a label in the top yet because we'll see if he can figure it out on his own what's the front and what's the back, but I'll probably end up putting something in the back as well just to kind of help him differentiate that. So now we're going to let him put the outfit on so that you guys can see how it turned out. And then that will do it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe if you have not already. Comment down below letting me know what you think, and I will catch you guys in my next upload.
So it feels very comfortable. I like the way the shirt is long sleeve and it's soft on the outside and the inside. Of course, Warriors favorite team. I like how it's baggy too. It's really baggy. I like that. And also, it's just really comfortable. I really like it.